Hi everybody, how are you all this week? I hope you were feeling really well. Last week we spoke about courage and the importance of being brave. We learned about people who had taken some brave choices and been courageous, and we also figured out how we could be brave in some of our lessons. I know from your teachers that you have done a good job at that. So this week I've got something else for us to talk about. I want to talk about our feelings. I wonder how you are feeling today. You may remember this from our assembly a couple of weeks ago. If I talk about my own feelings, I can tell you that I don't always feel the same all the time through the day. Before I went to bed last night, I was feeling a little bit worried. I still had lots of work that I hadn't done, and I wondered if I'd worked hard enough through the day and tried my best. After carefully thinking, I thought I had done a good job, so I was able to have quite a good night's sleep. But then when I woke up, I was thinking this morning, first thing, I really miss some of my family. I haven't seen my family for quite a while, and that made me feel just a little bit sad and lonely. And then the birds started singing, and I realised it was a new day. And if it's a new day, I should be feeling positive. I should be feeling really keen to do my best. So that made me start the day with hope, and I left with a big smile. If I'm quite honest, it didn't last for long. I went outside, my car was icy, so I was feeling cold and grumpy. You know Mrs. Bowen prefers the sunshine to the cold. But I came into school, I was able to speak to some of the other staff, we shared some stories, and so I'm back on track with feeling happy and positive. So what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter if you're not always feeling happy, if you're not always feeling proud. We just need to refocus, take a deep breath, know that we can do it, and try again. It made me think of a story. Some of you may know this. It's called, Have You Filled a Bucket Today? I'm going to read it out aloud whilst I share it. For those of you who are good at spelling, you'll notice some of the words aren't spelled quite correctly. That's because it's an American book and they publish their words with some different spelling. So that bit doesn't matter. I want you to think really carefully about this book because it's about the importance of kindness. All day long, everyone in the whole wide world walks around carrying an invisible bucket. Because it's invisible, you can't see it, but it's there. You have a bucket, and every member of your family has a bucket. That's your grandparents, your friends, your neighbours, the children you're in school with. Everybody has a bucket, and it's invisible to all of us. Your bucket has one purpose. Its purpose is to hold your good thoughts and good feelings about yourself. You feel very happy and good when your bucket is full, and you feel very sad and lonely when your bucket is empty. It's got a bucket here. So if it was full, I'd be feeling happy, and if there was nothing in it, I'd be feeling sad. Other people feel the same way too. They're happy when their buckets are full, and they're sad when their buckets are empty. It's great to have a full bucket. We need to work hard so that we can make sure our bucket and everybody else's bucket's full. This is how we do it. You need the help of other people to fill your bucket, and other people need you to help them to fill theirs. So you work as a team. You can fill your own bucket too. Here are a few ideas. You fill a bucket when you show love to someone, when you say or do something kind, or even when you give someone a smile. That's an important one. That's being a bucket filler, using this cup as a bucket. I've smiled at people today and been kind, so I earned myself a fill. A bucket filler is a loving, caring person who says or does nice things that make others feel special. When you make someone feel special, you are filling a bucket. I want you to have a quick think. What have you done already today that has helped somebody fill their bucket? Maybe you can share that with the family members that are around you now. Back to the story. You can also dip into a bucket and take out someone's good feelings. You dip into a bucket when you make fun of someone, when you say or do mean things, or even when you ignore someone. That's being a bucket dipper. Bullying is also bucket dipping. Bullying is saying or doing mean things that make others feel bad. Now, I know that at the Langley Academy Primary, we don't want people to be bucket dippers. We need to work to be bucket fillers. And even though you're at home, we're all part of our big Langley Academy Primary family. So we've all got to work hard to be bucket fillers. Many people who dip have an empty bucket. They think that they can fill their own bucket by dipping into someone else's. But that will never work. You will never fill up your own bucket when you dip into somebody else's. But guess what? When you fill someone's bucket, you fill your own bucket too. Because you feel good when you've helped other people to feel good. Go back to what you were just thinking about earlier that you shared with your family. When I said, what have you done that's been kind today? I bet you it made you smile. I know that I've done some acts of kindness today. When I greet people on the gate, and because I'm lucky enough to be at school, that makes me feel happy when I see them smile back at me. So that means that I helped fill somebody's bucket. I think I'm going to get myself another one. My cup, my bucket is starting to fill up. All day long, we're either filling up or dipping into each other's buckets by what we say and what we do. Try to fill a bucket and see what happens. You love your family, your parents, your mum, your dad, your brothers, your sisters. Why not try to tell them you love them? You can even tell them why. Your caring words will fill their buckets right up. They'll get that warm feeling. Remember, our buckets are invisible, so we know what it feels like to hear great words. Watch for the smiles to light up their faces. You'll feel like smiling too. A smile is a good clue that you have filled a bucket. We know smiles are contagious. If you practice, you'll become a great bucket filler. Just remember that everyone carries an invisible bucket, and think of what you can say or do to fill it. Just want you to think. Surround your home now with whoever you're with. What good deeds can you do to make somebody smile, to make somebody that you're at home with feel even better? I wonder if there's something you can do to make yourself feel better too. Could, in this book says, write a thank you note to your teacher. You might have to do an email or send a message next time you're on Teams, providing it's not teaching time. You could tell one of your grandparents, maybe your granddad, that you'd like to spend time with him. I know we can't necessarily see all of our family members now, so we might have to write a message for that one. There are so many ways to fill a bucket. Bucket filling is fun and easy to do. It doesn't matter how young or how old you are. Can we set a challenge in our household maybe to see who can fill the buckets the most? It doesn't cost any money. It doesn't take much time. And remember, when you fill someone else's bucket, you fill your own bucket too. When you're a bucket filler, you make your family, your home, school, your place where you live, neighborhood, or community, a better place to be. Bucket filling makes everyone feel good. So, why not decide to be a bucket filler today and every day? Just start by saying to yourself, I'm going to do something to fill someone's bucket today. I know you can get your thinking faces on to think of that idea. And at the end of each day, ask yourself, did I fill a bucket today? Yes, I did. That's the life of a bucket filler. I know we can do it. You can do it at home. You can help your families. Get your other family members to join in too, because we at the Langley Academy Primary are a caring, loving school community. We call ourselves a family. So we are bucket family. We are bucket fillers. We can do it. I know you can. I'm going to have a quick think. I'm going to read these out to you. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. So if you hold the door open for someone, if you say please, if you say thank you, that really helps. So it fills someone's bucket. And kindness doesn't cost anything, but it means a lot to people. When you're feeling sad and somebody does something kind, it lifts your spirits. I have to say that many of us are going through difficult times, myself included. As I said earlier, I'm missing my family because I don't live with my mum. I can't get a special cuddle from my mum. And I love those. They make me feel kind and it makes me feel close to my mum. But I can ring her, I can WhatsApp her, and that is a good deed. It makes her feel happy, it makes me feel happy too. Today, I've answered some questions for people. Maybe I'm going to pop myself another pom-pom or two in there because I've done a couple of good deeds as well. That means I've been filling other people's buckets. And now I think about it, that has helped me feel better. I said at the beginning that when I spoke to people today, they helped me to feel better. So they were filling my bucket. I've also been able to laugh and smile lots. And that's made other people feel better. And it's helped me feel better too. So no matter how sad or bored or lonely you might be feeling, think about your bucket and try to do something to fill it. Your act of kindness will make yourself feel better and others feel better too. If I mine that out of the way, I can show you, if I go back, Mrs. Bowen, come on, you can do this. You might want to make yourself a kindness bucket. Popped around school, we were fortunate enough to literally have a bucket around, and I think I'm going to keep it on my desk for next week so that I can put and remember that I'm trying to make myself and other people feel better by being kind. Maybe you've got a container at home that you can use for your kindness bucket and you can decorate it. There's some ideas here. Well, most of us have got party cups, plastic cups. Maybe there's a cup we can decorate and we can find things around the home that we can put in there. We can also maybe just do it in a kindness jar. I've got some pom-poms here, which I've managed to find. I don't know what you've got at home that you might be able to use so that you can find things and you can actually measure when you're doing the good jobs. Obviously, I'm cheating. I just put those in as I was speaking. It's important to look after yourself and be kind to yourself too. You can make yourself feel better. Remember at school, we do cosmic yoga. You might want to try some cosmic yoga or do some meditation. You might want to write yourself a message. Remember how great you are. Write a message to say what you did well. That's a way of being kind to yourself by focusing on the positive. Some exercising helps. You might be able to go out for a walk, but if your adults are busy, you might be able to watch an exercise video. Those children are watching Joe Wicks. Maybe you can do some exercise to feel better. Maybe you can share a story. I love reading books. It opens up the whole world. My imagination thrives. It can take me to so many places. You can share a story. And more importantly, try to get a good night's sleep. Being kind to ourselves means putting ourselves in bed early and having a peaceful sleep as possible. So your challenge for this week is to find ways to show that you're being kind. On our YouTube channel, we're going to be sharing some kindness, well-being activities. Miss Tona's busy getting lots of different resources together. So there'll be some ideas there as to how you can look after yourself. And when you look after yourself and those around you, that's a way of being kind. And we all know that I like the gruffalo. And so, as we know from the story, if somebody does something kind to you, maybe you can say, that's terribly kind of you. I miss hearing you all saying that about school. So find some ways of being kind. Maybe you can share some of those on Tapestry. Maybe you can put a video up to explain how well you've done. And then your teachers will know too. I know many of you have got some assemblies where you just check in with one another. Maybe you can be kind and show how you've been kind in that assembly. Whatever you do, try to be positive, be kind, and look after one another. I know you can do it. It's a tough time, but we're tough people and we will get through. Missing you all, but I'm pleased to know that you're working hard, you're doing your best, you're taking care of yourselves and your family. So I'll be back next week with another assembly. Good luck with this week's challenge. Be kind. Take care. Bye-bye.